Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers. This is Andy235, and this is Character Modeling and Rigging. We are on Module 7. We just got done with Module 6, which is the upper body, clothing, and assets that you guys created, following your model and texture worksheet mood boards. So you need to have those with you. Now we're going to be doing the waist down, Part 2. So you guys know all this weekly stuff that you need to have done. So we're on Module 7, so let's take a look at that. This is Part 2. In this module, the student will model in the lower body clothing. The student will also create at least two assets, accessories for the lower body. The accessories can include, but not limited to, belts, holsters, packs, leg wraps, wallet chains, decorative waistbands, and all types of footwear, etc. So, I mean, whatever you have on your model and texturing mood board for your character, that's what you need to have done. I also want you to think about the assets too. Are they holding anything? Because we're going to take this through the whole process. So we're taking your character, we're going to add clothes to it. All the accessories need to be modeled and textured and all completed before we start rigging. The rigging process then goes into effect full steam, but the end result is going to be that you're going to rig the character, you're going to basically skin the mesh to the joints, and then you're going to paint weights, which is a very time consuming process, and then you're going to pose the character in a diorama, okay, with a platform. So you need to start thinking ahead of things that you would like to do and how you want to pose the character. We do want a very dynamic pose. So hopefully your character costume is dynamic and that you're able to pose the character in a dynamic way. So basically, you need to model any assets. That's what I've talked about here. You need to model any assets that you would like, whether because you're going to be posing it, whether it be a sword, gun, staff, or any other object that is appropriate, following your module and texture mood board. Now, if you don't have anything, you can certainly add something if you'd like, even if it's not on your modeling and texturing mood board. What I don't want you to start doing is taking things off of your model and texturing mood board because you think it's too hard, okay, or too challenging. So try to stick with it and email me please at jbyers3@jcc.edu if you do find yourself getting stuck on something and need help with it. I'm happy to help. Now I do want to note that modeling and texturing hair is optional, okay, but you still need to cover the head with something that's appropriate, like maybe a hat or a helmet or something like that that fits your style and genre of your character outfit. I do not want to see a bald head. Okay. Now, obviously, if you do have a bald head, it needs to fit the character. Okay. But I really don't want to see that. It just, to me, that looks kind of lazy to me. So give her some kind of headdress of some kind, and have fun with it. Alright, objectives, you guys can read that. Course assignment, again, we just covered that. We are going to add an AI standard surface shader to the lower body and all the clothing. And I highly recommend that you have accessories so it makes the character look more interesting, like a belt. Now that's not going to be a problem. It's these long jackets that's going to be a real issue, or the capes that you guys have I've already warned you about those kind of things. You'll basically have to rig the cape itself and have it separate from the body, and then what you do is you put the cape on the character after you pose, and then you have to move all the joints around in the cape to get the pose to look good, which is kind of cool in itself, but it's just more work for you. Just understand that when you do a cape or a long jacket coat, you can't rig it to the body. You're going to have to rig the character first and then put the jacket over top and have that rigged. So you'll rig the character, pose the character, and then you'll take the jacket and pose the jacket. Okay, it's a lot of work. Okay, just remember that. Alright, so the student will model body clothing, accessories, and assets following the mood board references created by the student, which is you, and the student will import the clothing references into a front and side viewport modeling for modeling purposes. Student will model 2 or more accessories. You have to have at least 2 accessories. So what would that mean? So the clothing is your pants, but then you need to have your, I got socks, okay, and I've got tennis shoes. So the pants are one, the socks are different, and then the shoes are different. So we got 3 things, 3 items, and I actually, even though it doesn't look like I have much here, there are 3 things: the pants, the socks, and the shoes. And they're 3 different things. Okay? Alright, so just to make sure you understand, we need to have, and you can count a belt for your, you can count your belt for the lower part if you want to. So you could have belt, pants, and shoes if you wanted to. Okay? I considered the minimum that you need to have, and that's the minimum. Okay? Just to make sure I'm clear. Alright, so I still have the Maya keyboard shortcuts. You are going to have a quiz, just like Module 6. You're going to have Quiz 7, which is going to be continued on with the modeling tools. So if you've watched these already, then feel free to take the quiz on Friday when it opens up. You're going to model the rest of the clothing, accessories, and assets. So whatever you have on your character mood boards, modeling and texturing mood boards, you got to model and texture those. Okay, so you need to model the rest. So let's say maybe you left something out. Maybe you, in Module 6, you decided, well, you know, I've only had to do 2 accessories, but I have like 5. You need to model those, and you have to have those modeled by Module 7. So if you waited for those, and didn't add those with your upper body ones, you'll have to add those to the lower body ones, because that's what you're going to be graded for, what you model. Okay, then we're going to get into texturing. You have to have those done anyway. All right. So the assignment, I've already taken you through that. You're gonna start where you left off in Module 6, where you're going to start modeling the lower part of the clothing and the accessories. And you can see what I've got here. You're going to have a front view and you're going to have a back view. These are not the only views you're going to turn in. I need screenshots, all kinds of stuff. So this is just an example of what I have for the rendering. Okay, this is just the rendering part. I don't even have the wireframe on here. So modeling the clothing, again, you can go through that again. I got the same tutorials in here. One of the things I chose to do was I did low poly modeling of the wrinkles in the socks. So I did that myself, all my modeling. You could do it in ZBrush or Mudbox. I choose to do things physically. I like to physically model my clothes and wrinkles in there. And there's no wrong way of doing it. You can do it in Maya, you can do it in ZBrush, whatever you're comfortable with. The thing is, if you do it in ZBrush, your meshes are usually super high resolution, and that can cause problems bringing your super high resolution into Maya. You may get stuck. I'm thinking that if you don't have enough RAM to bake a map, so that's why I use Substance Painter. So if you do sculpting and you do follow a tutorial like what we have up here, I think it was up here. No, it's not down here. Then you got to kind of watch out for that. Okay, it's high poly, high resolution. Maya can handle about 2 to 3 million polygons, and that's nothing compared to what ZBrush can do. It can do, you know, 60 million polygons. So you can't bring a 60 million polygon mesh into Maya. It will crash, or it will just hang on you. Okay, it'll just hang there. So the grading rubric, you can look at what I kind of broke things up a little differently this time and separated them out, so you can see what you need to turn in right here, right? So get everything in there. Make sure the screenshots are clear. Make sure you get all your points that you deserve. Make sure you render everything you need to render. And I want you to follow the same tutorial. I'm not going to create another tutorial that goes over the exact same thing, except just for the lower body. So watch the ANI 235 Module 6, turn in instructions, watch that video if you've forgotten how to do stuff. So you watch the video, and all you have to do is move the camera down to the lower part of the body to show off what you modeled for that. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for. Alright? So I explained it here, so I'm just telling you now that you watch this video and you'll just move the camera down and just follow along with everything that I've talked about for the upper body. Just do it for the lower body. Alright, so the lighting rig is here. You can download it here. Deliverables, again, you guys can read that. I usually pretty much go by, I may, there might be inconsistencies. I try not to do that, but you may watch it and go, oh, wait a minute, you said something here. Just what you want to do is immediately tell me what you saw, and if it didn't match this, and I'll come back and check it out. I'm human, I make mistakes, so just let me know right away if you catch them, okay? Please do. Don't feel bad about telling me that there's a mistake, and I'll be happy to correct it right away or make it. I want everything to be super consistent, and so you have no questions. Things are really laid out nicely for you, and I'm hoping that's the case. So just let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'm happy to help you. That's what I'm here for. And jbyers3@jcc.edu, and contact me anytime. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I will see you in the next module. Good luck with everything. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you have fun adding clothing to your character. I know I did. I had a lot of fun experimenting in a lot of different techniques, and feel free to do the same. Go on YouTube and find some fun tutorials that might help you. And if you need help with anything, if you get stuck with something, or you're like, how do I create a belt, or how do I create a wristwatch, or how do I create that, I might be able to find videos for you, or I might make a video for you and just post it up here and let everybody know it's posted. So don't feel bad. Just let me know what you need help with. I won't know unless you tell me. So jbyers3@jcc.edu, and I'll see you next week in Module 8. And have a great week.